Aloha! Welcome, guys, and I'm sorry I'm running late. How late? 3 minutes. Yeah, Hawaiian time. That's what this is. It's pure Hawaiian time, and Cassie's ready for her treat. Oh, sorry, guys. That is called the wrong thing here. Let me just do it. Sorry, I got another window open. One. Okay. Windows are open, closed. Everything's where it should be. Sorry, guys. I got having fun talking with someone right before the live, and I totally, utterly. Oh my God. My mind went way too many different places at once. This is why I got to focus on one thing at a time, isn't it? So, anyhow, we are here. Yeah, I was talking with someone over on Discord the last half hour. So, we've been having a nice little chat back and forth in DMs. And I've been slowly but surely sealing a bunch of diamond painting coasters while we were talking. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I didn't finish printing out my notes and I have a window open and I'm not ready for this. Yeah, so let's do this thing. Yes. Okay, Cassie, would you stop barking, please? Please stop barking. Yes. And so how is everyone doing? I walked into the chat a few minutes ago and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a whole conversation. We have a party in the chat box going on before the live even starts. And I wasn't invited. No, okay. I just wasn't there because I was not paying attention. Yes. So who do we have here? Miss Sherry was the first one in chat. Kissy Poo and like Sherry, I love it. I love it, girl. And also, okay, questions. Here we go. We're going to go through it for those of you who answered the question of the day as you came in. For those of you who didn't, you guys can be thinking about answers and stuff. But the question that I actually posed today was, why do you think some people gravitate to hate bonding? Because guess what? We all do it. Okay, every one of us has done it at one point or another. Okay, so why is it that we do it? Okay, I know for me, I think people want to belong, and by sharing your darkest thoughts on someone, it shows others you trust them enough to be open and honest, even if it means you're sharing in the gossip side of things. So that's what I was saying. Grandma Sherry here mentioned, in my opinion, there is a balance of shared values and dislike, i.e., political parties. Hate bonding is focused only in the shared dislikes and negates the positive attributes that bond for. Yes. And we're going to be going through a lot of that one too. And you've had a couple of hate bonding relationships, but they are toxic. And that's what we're going to kind of talk about as we go through this. Seal, this one was Sherry. Nope, that was Seal there. We're going to actually talk about not only how it comes about, but the negative sides of it and how to pull ourselves out of it. Not just hate bonding, but also something that's newer now that we have social media, which is hate following. Okay, people who go in, and how many of us follow people on Instagram or Twitter or something that we can't stand, but we're there. Okay, looking at every single post they do, every single video, if it's on YouTube, all these things, and yet it infuriates us the whole time we're doing that. That's what hate following is. So, and the subject ended up popping up because I have heard the word hate bonding so much in the last couple of weeks that I was like, okay, this is happening a lot to a lot of people right now. We're all talking about it at different levels. So, hey, why don't we just go and look into it and see where it comes from? So who else do we got in chat? Because I noticed we had some other people playing. Of course, B. Tim there. And of course, how can you have B. Tim without our dear, dear Bluth Mom? And the tomatoes come out and get thrown at everyone else. And yeah, we know. Did someone say hate? Mm-hmm. And it's so funny how I have a problem with hate. I always have. I think it's okay, you can have a big treat. How's that? Will that shut you up? Oh my God, I'm going to kill them. And yeah, we got mutual hatred in the chat. There we go. Okay, I'll stop holding this up for you guys. Butterfly Kisses is here. I think some people gravitate towards hate bonding because it's easier for them to see the flaws in others and the strengths that people possess. That's a good point. That is actually a good point and everything, that a lot of times it's much easier for us to see the negative in people rather than the positive. Definitely. And for various reasons. Boots is here. Hello, Boots. Hello, my dear. Hope you're doing good. And okay, I did say hi. There's Butterfly Kisses there. Just working my way down the list to make sure I have every. Princess Megan here watching. You got it, my dear. I love you. Party in chat, party in chat, party in chat. Throw your hands up and, okay, sorry. You do not want me dancing. Singing is one thing, dancing is totally different. Would you stop it, Wrigley? Yes, Isabella caught the live. Isabella caught the live. Oh, Seal behave. See, I've got two chats open, so I can see what you're saying now, and I can see what oh my God, I'm going to kill this dog. Okay, you can come up here with me. Is that better? Is that better now? Yeah. Exactly. And also, let's see who else. Robin's here. Hey, Robin, how you doing, my dear? Oh, would you guys stop? And this is going to be interesting because they are in a mood today. Yeah, I think that's everyone here. Yep, that's everyone. Perfect. So, yes. As just said, we love you being here with us as we bond and hate. Hit that like button, please. Yes. Bond in your hatred and hit that thumbs up and all the rest of it. So, Robin, love you, my dear. And also, oh my God. Okay, you're going to see them playing. This is called flirting. This is completely flirting right now. Okay, and yeah, Butterfly Kisses. We've been talking quietly on the side and everything, and I had fun. I had fun, though. It's fun talking and doing all that. So, okay, let me pull this up. And would you guys, okay, you want this? No, you want to lick it. That's all you want to do. So, let me pull up my banners. And we can get started because we all know the banners are my cheat sheet. Without the banners, I'm in trouble. So first of all, you all know actually, before I give the 988 stuff, I wanted to tell you guys are being great about giving me ideas for subjects. I was just coming up with some amazing idea, but okay, Butterfly Kisses and I were kind of talking about ideas and everything, and she had some amazing ideas coming up. So please, if you have ideas, you know how to get me on Discord. You know how to get me, okay, Facebook, okay, group. Sorry, I don't know if you can tell this one is a little, yeah. Girl is in heat, boy is interested. And it doesn't matter if they're touching each other, okay? We are going to sit there and, yeah, okay. I need to put them in different rooms is what I need to do. One has a diaper, the other has a belly band. And, oh my God, I want to scream. But if you have, you can also email me, thelocalmylife@gmail.com. And any ideas you have, I would love to hear. Grammy, Pammy, how you doing, my dear? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got to hang out last night in a chat. Now we get to hang out a little bit now, too. So I'm going to get you. And also, okay, let's see. Let me go back to my banners there. Is that what you want, Cassie? And like I said, some of this may actually bring up, as I was doing research on this subject, guys, I'll be real with you. It was hitting a couple spots for me. And I found myself actually thinking to myself a lot of things like, oh, yeah, maybe this is something that, okay, yeah, this is something that I need to look at more. Because a lot of times the hate bonding is coming from something inside of us. And recognizing that can bring up emotions. So again, if you find yourself being triggered, take care of yourself. You can always come back and rewatch the replay, guys. Okay, I love it when you're here in person, but replay is fine. I want you to take care of yourself. So if you find yourself in that type of place, and of course, if you get yourself to a point where you need help, please call 988. Please call it. And so let's start with good old hate bonding. Can hate bonding be positive? First of all, how many of you, put a 1 in chat if you have heard the word hate bonding thrown out in a chat or another chat at least once in the last 7 days. Gosh, I could probably take it down to 2 days, to be honest. But that's something that you've heard thrown out in a chat at one point or another, or a conversation maybe. And one. Yep, here come the ones. Here come the ones. I don't even need to give you a 2 as an option because we all know exactly where we're headed with this. Care D, hey, Care, how you doing? Not even just this chat either. Exactly, Sleuth. And hate bonding is something that it's not new. Okay, this is the first for you, Seal. That's actually good. Shows that you're actually in some pretty healthy areas that you're visiting. And it seems like the hate bonding goes in cycles. In fact, when I started doing research for this a couple days ago, I typed into YouTube hate bonding, and you could see, okay, about so many months ago, you had tons of videos being done on it, okay, and they were all in the drama field, I'll be honest. And then all of a sudden, a couple months later, it happened again, and that's what tends to be happening. And it's back full force right now. We got a lot of people, a lot of fighting, a lot of divisiveness going on. And again, like I've always said, we can't change other people. As much as we wish we could change them, we can't. All we can do is take stock in who we are, look at things the way we need to be looking at things, okay, taking responsibility for our own part in whatever is going on and how we interact with it. And you know what? As more and more of us do that, maybe we will start making a dent in all the overall issues that happen. Because I don't know about you guys, right now, the amount of craziness out there honestly has me at times stressed out so far that it's almost affecting me on a health-wise right now. Robbie, I love you, my dear. Mwah. Love you, Robbie. It does. When you're dealing with so much drama and stuff like that, and unfortunately with hate bonding, it also connects on a emotional level. Because once you've bonded with people, a person or a group of people or whatever that is based off of hate, a lot of times that becomes the main focus of everything you do. You can't talk about fun stuff anymore. It's all talking about the crap. And also understanding that, Carity, exactly, you're so overwhelmed with it all. It's horrible. It is. I miss the days that we used to have fun and just enjoy ourselves. And that's why I wanted to come into this. So, first of all, hate bonding, okay? Is there somewhere where I found so funny when I pulled stuff up? All of a sudden, there was an article talking about the positive side of hate bonding. And I'm like, what the fuck? Hate bonding? Positive. Hey, hen. Good morning, my dear. And I hope you had a great night. Day? Wait, something like that. Sorry, I don't do time zones anymore for some reason. And love you, my dear. It's hard to find channels enjoyable when hate bonding occurs. Yes, and it puts people in awkward spots. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm actually at the point right now that I'm not going to chats because of it. And just because I don't know, oh my gosh, I'm going to piss this person off or I'm going to piss that person off. And I don't want to do that because I care about both people and all that. And it's hard. It's hard. And it doesn't just happen in our chats on lives and stuff, but it happens in just one-on-one discussions when we hate bond. Okay, because of something that has happened in the past or something here or there. And we bond as smaller groups, even one-on-one type groups based off of that. So what do I mean by hate bonding being, okay, the positive side? Well, what research has actually shown is that people build stronger bonds when those bonds are based on a mutual dislike for someone rather than sharing the positive feelings about them. I think it was said by one of you guys earlier with the questions and all. Yes, hen. Do you mean when people bond over hating something or someone? Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. Okay. Hey, whether it's bonding over a creator that they hate or a person that they hate, a group of people that they hate, because you have hate groups also out there. So it's a wide range we're talking about here. We're not talking specifically YouTube drama. Yes, we are. But it also, you can look at hate groups. You can look at so many other things. Okay, and that's where this comes into play. Sorry, I got dogs playing behind me. Hopefully they won't do anything but that. That's happened before in the past. But research does show, and think about it, when you're talking with friends, okay, when you are with people and all of a sudden you start talking about something you both dislike. It doesn't even have to be a person. Maybe you hate pineapple on pizza, okay? That will pull you together so much quicker because it's something you both can't stand. And it gets your emotions up and all this other stuff as compared to, oh, I like pepperoni on my pizza. It's just this difference on how that negative side really can't hear. You can't hear me? Can anyone else hear? Seal cannot hear. Can anyone else hear, or is it just Seal? If you guys can let me know. I did not put my earbuds in, so I am not sure right now. Right, and let's see. You can hear me, Butterfly. Okay, got it. So it might be Seal. It might be you. Turn up your hearing aids, Seal. There you go. And also, hey, Mom doesn't have a hearing aid right now, and I'm going crazy. And so she's getting hers fixed, and oh my God, I want to scream. But anyhow, that's a different subject. So yeah, so that's the first thing of recognizing when we're looking at hate bonding and stuff like that. It's understanding the fact that we will connect with people quicker and deeper, okay, based off of hate than off of the positive stuff. Grammy is saying, honestly, this is the first time I've heard of it, but I have a huge heart and I get emotional when I get to a channel that has drama. Maybe I'm just not a strong person, but I will leave because yes. And that's actually probably the healthy way of doing it, Grammy. Okay. 1 second. I heard an alarm going off in there. I wanted to make sure it wasn't something going on. Yes, and flip-flopper becomes the other name that's getting thrown into everything, which is another issue. But I think that is part of the thing, is that for a lot of us, hate is not something that we come to easily. Okay, negativity. Negativity in general will make me feel extremely put off. It will make me nervous. It will make my anxiety go through the roof. It makes me feel bad. And I tend to hide from it. What I've found though, guys, and this kind of goes with something else we're going to talk about during this, is the more that I'm around the negativity, the more I'm around the hate bonding, the easier it gets to accept it. Okay, 2 years ago when I came to YouTube, I never would have participated or found myself going into that. I would have just walked off. 2 years later, I find myself kind of, okay, I'm accepting it more. I'm becoming more apt to act on it. And that's not good. That's not good. And that's why I've had issues recently and why I wanted to address this, because I needed to look at it myself, because I've seen a change in my own behavior recently and what I'm okay with. Yeah, most people would be like, oh yeah, that's nothing. You don't need to worry about it. And, but for me, I do, because it's not something I'm happy with. And also, yeah, Sherry, you hit it on frog in a pot. You sit in it long enough, you start accepting it. And you know what? I'll be honest. Okay, drama and hate bonding and all this other stuff that goes along with it brings up, excitement. It increases our dopamine. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but it actually does increase our dopamine. And dopamine is what makes us feel good. And so we want more and more of it. So let's go through the whole idea of hate. Okay, the whole idea of dealing with hate, what hate means to different people, how we grow up, and again, domestication, what we are expected to do around hate. Okay, for many people, hate is a foreign or taboo concept. Okay, I'm not joking when I say I don't hate people. I don't know why. I don't. Maybe it's tied to trauma in the past. Maybe, I don't know. But as crazy as it sounds, my own The people who actually hurt me, I don't even hate. And that sounds crazy. And I know it sounds crazy. But it is something that I've never been able to kind of come to understand for me. And it's something that I'm learning how to figure out. Hate is very exhausting, Seal. It really is. And for someone who does not, that's a great way to put it, Hen. I dislike. And I don't like what they did. There's a difference to me between hating someone and disliking them. It's kind of like even friendships. We talk about friendships, and a lot of people put friendships as one standard level. No, friendships have a whole continuum. Hate, dislike, and all that is the same way. And also we're taught, many of us are taught from a young age, back in school and all, that when we hate someone, when we get mad at them and we speak up against them and things like that, that we are being cruel, we're being judgmental, antisocial. It has a definite negative connotation to it. Okay, just the word hate to begin with. Most people, and in fact, this is part of the problem for those people who do find themselves falling into hate bonding or hate following, we don't want to accept it of ourselves because of shame. Okay, hate has this connotation, negative connotation to it. So the idea that we may be falling into something with that negative connotation is hard for us to accept of ourselves. And that's where really looking at hate is a waste of energy. It really honestly is, when you could honestly just walk away, especially out here on the internet where we really never have to see each other. We can block people. Yes, their name may pop up here or there or whatever, but I think every one of us have the ability to be able to say, oh, fuck it. I don't care. That person exists, but it's no water off my back. And also, hate tends to come out a lot of times due to our common feelings and psychological needs. What do I mean by that? Okay, when we come down to you guys, hey, Wrigley. Come on, Wrigley. Sorry. I'm going to have to put the little thing. Yeah, Sleuth knows about that there. So they've actually been sleeping all morning. I don't know why now they're getting excited. So, but hate tends to, a lot of times, the reason why we go towards the hate bonding and stuff is because of certain feelings that we have inside or certain psychological needs. Okay, feelings, negative feelings inside about ourselves, self-esteem issues, things on that level. Feelings on a psychological need of not wanting to be alone. The idea of being alone is scary for most people. Yes, they are. Yeah, exactly, Sherry. They're showing us hate bonding, some type of bonding. And also, Hen said, hate is a waste of energy. Even when people really hurt me, I still don't wish harm to befall them. Yes. And I love it when we come together like this because we can talk about these things and see how normal it is. Okay, first of all, Discourse Soapbox, welcome, my dear. I also just noticed my dear Battissimo is not acting like a good boy or girl or whatever. I don't know Battissimo's pronouns yet, so we will fix that in just a second. But Discourse just said exactly where my head was going. Okay, these terms we accept have actually been in human history for thousands of years. Okay, we have been dealing with thoughts. Words change on what it means. Okay, the word hate bonding may never have been used back in Elizabethan time, and but the idea behind it truly was there. So those are the things for us to remember. So thank you. By the way, thank you for coming in and joining in with us today. And there we go. Now Battissimo's behaving. Sorry, mods. And I don't get Battissimo lately. Yeah, put it that way. So why do we hate bond? What is it that makes people... Amy's here. Love you, Amy. Mwah. Love you, my dear. What are some of the reasons behind hate bonding, hate following, things like that? Okay, well, the first one... PJ's here too. Hey, PJ, love you, my dear. And first one is many times we want a scapegoat. Okay. Just normal life, guys. We're dealing with a lot of internal emotions. A few minutes ago, I just said hate comes out due to common feelings, psychological needs. Well, this is one of them. Okay. We need a scapegoat for feelings that we may have for ourselves. Maybe we are dealing with low self-esteem. Maybe we're having problems at work or problems with our relationships, okay? Romantic, friendship, whatever it is. We have something going on. And a lot of times it's easier for BC, hello BC, easier for us to turn all of our energy towards someone else, put all the blame and stuff on that, so we don't have to look at what it is that we need to really be looking at, which is something within ourselves. Okay. This is a lot of times hate groups. Okay. If you're going to go on the historical level, like was mentioned a few minutes ago by Discourse, oh, I love it. So Discourse works with disorders. Thought that would help. Thank you. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no, add in ideas whenever you have ideas. Because like I tell everyone here, I am no therapist. I am no psychologist, psychiatrist, anything. I'm actually a nursing home administrator with 2 dogs who are driving me crazy right now. And also, I love ideas that come in. I know we have some really great minds in this group. So what happens with this, okay, just looking at hate groups, okay, go back to World War II, okay, you had hate going against groups. And what was happening is because of, okay, things going on politically and all that, you had a group of people who were having problems economically, okay, socially. They had all sorts of issues going on at the time. So instead of looking at those issues, all of that hate went towards the Jewish people in this case. So hate groups even work this way. When you have problems and you can't find a way to solve it, you'll look for someone else and try to throw all of the problems at their feet rather than looking at how you can do it. So they become a scapegoat for your issues. Okay, so that would be our first thing. Second one is people are lonely. Okay, we are social beings, even an introvert like me. Okay, those of you guys who know me, I don't get on the phone and talk story. I do text messaging, I do voice messages. I don't do telephone calls too often. Okay, I'm an introvert, that's me. But I still need connections with people. Okay, it's normal for us to need to have other people around us and to talk to. Okay, it's one of the reasons why even during COVID, you found introverts like, oh my gosh, I'm even starting to get bored sitting at home. We need some of that interaction going on. And many times, again, going back to what I was saying at the beginning, where you pretend you're an introvert, PJ. Yes, I'm an extroverted introvert is what I say. So yeah, and it depends where I am at the time. So, at the beginning, I was talking about how we a lot of times can bond with people over negativity more easily than positive issues. Okay, if we dislike someone or something like that, hey, bitch talks, love you, my dear, mwah, love you, and we'll find ourselves that. So if you get someone who truly is needing connections in their life, they're lonely, they really need to come together with someone and have a friend that they can lean on and stuff, then you know what? Bond with someone through hate. You find someone who is pissed off at someone else in their life, whether it's an individual or a group of people, okay, and then you put all the energy into that relationship because in the end, that's actually what you have in relation with each other is that hate. So much of that relationship is based off of the hate. And that's why I was saying a few minutes ago that I would love it if some of the groups that I've been part of over these years, if we kind of would get back to the fun, the enjoyment of things rather than feeling like every time I go into a live or every time I go into a conversation, it's going to turn negative again right away. I want to talk about the fun things in life. And I think that's, unfortunately, online it's even more so. Okay, because I'll be honest with you, do you find yourself hate bonding to the degree that you do online, offline? Okay, honestly, gang, my friendships offline are not hate bonded based. We don't even talk about hating things. We might talk about, oh yeah, so and so got me pissed the other day, and then we go out with them 2 weeks later, okay, and see a movie with that person or something. But it's nothing like that. Here, though, it's something that we tend to lean on big time. And I think a lot of it is we all want to be part of a community here online. And the easiest way to get into an online community is to find a group that does not like another group and join in with that group like crazy. And that's not a real friendship. That's not a real relationship. Now, that doesn't mean that friends can dislike the same thing. Okay, hey, I have friends, we hate the same things in life, but that's not what our whole life is about. Our life is about everything else, and it just so happens we don't like certain things. Hey, Jess, welcome, Jess. So a lot of times that could be one of the reasons. They're truly looking for a connection, someone to spend time with, people that they can lean on. And Discourse Soapbox, many clients connect their hate to childhood in the clinic. Yes. Most individuals may connect current hate moods with those past events. Interesting thought process. Very interesting thought process. And I know one of the things I was talking to Butterfly Kisses about is trauma bonding. Initially, I was going to talk about hate bonding and trauma bonding at the same time. And I've decided I'm going to do them as separate lives just because they are very similar, okay, as to where a lot of things come, but they're also got some major differences too. One's a lot more, one goes in a little different direction. But thank you for that. And yeah, Amy, I would rather walk away than hate bond. And that's what I find myself like right now. I'm still here. I just don't want to hate bond right now. Okay, I'm still here. I still support you. I still love you. I just don't want to hate bond because I can't, what it does to me inside, I need to take care of myself. I need to take care of my own health. And that's not good. And hey, Butterfly Kisses, I know it was accident. Actually, I enjoyed that we got to talk. Okay, like I said, I feel bad that I can't talk on the phone with people, but I can still text and stuff while doing work. And on it works. Hen, I think it depends. Part of the reason I am not working at the moment is because people wanted to hate bond with me, and I didn't want to be involved. In the end, my mental health was, yes. You call them Discourse Soapbox. You call them cousins. Exactly. And I could see that. Hen, exactly. And workplaces can be a major area of hate bonding. Major area. We all dealt with gossip within workplaces, groups, this group, okay. I mean, as a nursing home administrator, I had to deal with it all the time, where you had this person hating on this group and this group, or them hating on certain departments or things like, it was just nuts at times. So it happens everywhere. It does happen everywhere. And it's just looking at why. So another reason why actually is people fear the unknown. Okay. What do I mean by that, Wrigley? Here you go. Okay. What do I mean by that? Okay. Think about if you went into people don't like change. They don't like new people joining into a group, things like that. So someone enters a new job, let's say. Okay, you've got a new employee coming into the job, okay, and maybe there's someone who's in a position of being able to make decisions like a department head, or in the case of YouTube, someone who is has the potential of being an influential creator, something like that. People will often, because they're scared about where things may go, and they may find themselves immediately gossiping about negative things about that person. And the thought behind that being is, if they gossip about that person, they bring up all these negative things about that person, then they can make sure their group dynamics are not changed from the get-go. We don't like change. And change is everywhere. Change is always going to be everywhere. But in a case where people fear the unknown, you try to control that change through hate bonding. And Amy said, hate bonding plays a huge role with someone being selfish and worried about their own needs. Yes. And that does actually. And that's where we do have to look at things. Because one of the reasons for hate bonding is when people need to deal with their own, okay, I kind of addressed it up here. Okay, hate comes out due to common feelings and psychological needs, things that are in their head, feelings that they have, thoughts about themselves, okay, things, and this is how they're going to deal with it. So, and last, okay, the big reasons for people hate bonding, okay, in fact, I did a lot of this off of a really great article, actually, was that our insecurities get the best of us. Okay, I'll be honest, guys. Most of us who do hate bond are doing it out of insecurity in reality. Okay, a lot of times it just comes down to the fact that there's things about us that we are insecure about or we are not comfortable about, and we have to control things, whether it is controlling the way people think about us, or it's controlling narratives, or all sorts of different things. We are out there at that point trying to control anything involving those insecurities. Okay, so what we often will do is there might be something that we hate about ourselves, and we will look for it in other people, and we will point it out in them. Okay, maybe you've got a problem with your weight. So you go out and you start looking for people. Okay, you go after the person that has a weight issue so you can kind of see what I mean. It's an insecurity, but we're dealing with it by our issues with ourselves by going after it in someone else. So those are some of the different ways we can find ourselves dealing with, okay, this. Now, hatred, though, a lot of times what we find is hatred will actually define what we are doing socially. Okay. How many of the chat, percentage-wise, guys, how many of the chats that you guys belong to do you feel hatred is not a part of? Okay, actually, let me give you numbers so it goes. Put a 1 in chat. Oh, no. Sorry, I'm thinking of this as I'm popping it up. Give me a percentage of how many chats do you participate in where hate bonding and hatred of another person or another group is a main part of that channel or chat. Oh, Jess, tell Milan I love her. Tell her I love her. And I would say for me, honestly, I'd say right now, probably about 75-80% of the chats that I go into actually have a very high level of this group doesn't like this group. And that's pretty much what they talk about, is how they don't like this other group. And all, come here, baby. Come here, Cassie. Come. And all. So we run into this quite a lot, okay, where the social lines, yes, butterfly kisses is 25 to 50%, depending on the day, right? I find if it's a videotaped, not as much. The lives tend to be more hate bonded based lately. They used to, there was a time actually, a lot of the lives I went to, we were joking around or things like that, but it definitely seems to be increasing lately. For you, about 50%, Cara D. Oh, you got, okay, Sherry. I saw that on a Ghost Hunter channel. I got to figure that one out. And would you guys stop it? Okay, good. I got Cassie down here. Sorry. And so people like structure in our lives. So let me get back onto this idea. We like structure in our lives. We don't like change. All those things. We just talked about that. Okay, that we just do not like the idea of things changing. We want things going on. So what we do when we come into a group is a lot of times we will look for that structure to be there. Okay, like the last 10 seconds, my structure kind of went all out the place, and it kind of felt okay. And I'm sure you guys felt what I felt. All of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh, this is becoming disjointed and stuff like that. You can feel that in a chat or in a community when everything is disjointed and all. But if you have some semblance of a structure, then you can aim and walk forward with that, even if it is based off of hating other people. Okay, or disliking other people. Cara D, they are Maltese, actually. All three of them are Maltese, and one of them's starting to fall asleep, so I'm very, very happy about that. But the little boy is a little excited right now because both of the girls are in heat right now. They actually are AKC. They were going to be show dogs. Dad is a grand champion, so I'm going to be getting that one fixed after this time, but this one needs to stay for a while longer. So, but yeah, so we like this. We like to fit in. Exactly. So we like all these things, and we want to make sure that we have that structure going on. Okay. Also our group. So we develop these. Chica has a 1-year-old Maltese male. Oh my gosh. Wrigley is almost just turned 2. I love Maltese. I've had them since I was in 8th grade, and they are like my favorite thing in the world. And oh yeah, no, they are like, luckily you guys can't see it right now, but the girls have diapers on right now. So that's helping. That's really helping. And then the little boy, later on, I'll put his belly band on. So, but I'm kind of letting him have a break. So what's odd is the actual distrust that exists between the bonders. Yes. And that's a lot of the problem. We're going to talk about where we could run into problems in the future once you have that bonded relationship that's based off of hate. There is a lot of... Now Hen's going to bed. Okay, so good night, my dear. I was off earlier. I was like, wait, is she going to bed or waking up? Which one is it? It's the Aussies who are waking up. You're going to bed. Love you, my dear. Get a good night's sleep. And also, but yeah, and that's a lot of what starts happening is because these relationships are built on this hate to begin with, this dislike, this negativity to begin with, that it's setting yourself up for issues in the future. So what happens within these social lines, we tend to gravitate towards things. We want to feel connected to people. We realize, okay, if I go over to this channel, okay, they like to do this activity and this activity and this activity that aren't hate related, but they may be interested in those. And then on the other side, oh yeah, they don't like this person and this person, this person. So then now we're starting to feel like I belong to a team. Okay, you get into this team mentality. It's my group against your group. And I mean, we even are hearing people calling other groups gangs. Okay, that's that gang, or this is this cult, or this is this, or this is that. It gets into this idea that it's us versus them. Okay, and it's all coming down to the whole idea of I'm friends with you because I dislike that person. And that mutual dislike is going to be stronger than mutual like. Okay, again, like I said earlier. Okay, if you go to someone and you tell them, I dislike this, you're probably going to become much, much more apt to be close to that person or to connect with them than if you bring up the things that you like. Just because it's pulling up this energy and excitement and the dopamine release and all these other things. And so you love everyone. PJ, we love you. You can't do the channel. It's stressful to see so much bullying and ugliness. Yes, Seal. And that's the thing. And even I think for those people who belong, because yes, I go to a lot of drama-based communities. I have to walk away at times. I'll be honest, gang. Okay, there are sometimes I come in and I say hi, and I spend 10, 15 minutes because I want to say hi to everyone in chat, okay, because I am friends with a lot of the people, and I like to say hi to people that I know. But then I'm like, okay, nope, I can usually tell within 15 minutes whether it's a live that I'm going to have to walk off on or not, just based off of how I'm feeling inside. And it's good once you get to that point where you can recognize that and not feel guilty or anything. You just no, you make that choice. So, sharing hatred. Okay, so sharing hatred as an expression of vulnerability. Okay. As I mentioned, research has shown that sharing intimate bonds, okay, lasting intimate relationships depend on vulnerability. Okay, the more vulnerable you are with a person, the more you share, okay, the closer you become. Think about it in any friendship you have. Your closest friend probably knows the most about you, right? Okay, the people that you are kind of on your outskirts of colleague almost level, yeah, they know a little bit about you, but that's about it. Okay, the problem happens for a lot of times is that we know being vulnerable is going to mean that we have to share our authentic, unfiltered feelings. Okay. If I'm going to be very, very good friends with, who's last in chat? Amy. I need to be open with her. It's almost kind of expected as close friends or as friends, deeper friends, that I'm going to have to share my feelings, not lie about feelings or anything, but tell her who I really am. Okay. The thing comes down to is a lot of times it's easier for us to be vulnerable about the things we hate than those internal struggles we have. Okay, for example, if I'm talking to, again, Amy, would I want to tell her about those deep, dark things in my heart about self-esteem or the things that my own things I'm battling, which as a close friend, she could help me grow on, for example. Okay, if she knows, okay, Loco has these issues going on, she can then, as a good friend, help me grow with those issues. But a lot of times it's hard to share those with anyone. I mean, anyone. I have problems sharing many of the things with my best friend or my mom. Okay, so what we find we do instead is we share the things that we hate. Okay, oh yeah, the other day, so-and-so, okay, yeah, they said something really mean to me. They did something, and you tell them the story about what this one person did to hurt you. And now this may have been something months ago, weeks ago, years ago, or it could have just happened. And but you're sharing something that happened that you may actually even be over. And but what ends up happening then is the two of you join in with each other for a shared hatred based off of that one story. Okay, you are upset and mad at the one person who hurt you, and the person you're now talking to starts saying, oh my God, yeah, look how that hurt this person. And of course, how many times, gang, we see it, okay, we talk about this all the time in hate bonding and just drama in general. We're hearing one side of an argument. We're not seeing everything. We're just seeing bits and pieces. We're seeing the clip channel version of something. And yes, Amy, I've seen you throw a temper tantrum, and you've seen me actually. And also, oh my God, so much. Discourse also said, it's best to never go too deep in your involvement. That's an understandable move to make. Part of our flight or fight. Yes, yes. And so you've got this case where the two of you are now fighting, okay? Fighting this one person. You, because they hurt you. The other person is now mad at them because they've heard what you've told them about, and you're connecting over that. So that's where that hate bonding becomes more and more of an issue. And that's also, though, where as you pull all these things together, you start to see the cost of hate bonding. And this is what Discourse was mentioning earlier. A couple different things actually here. First, when we are hate bonding, guys, I think anytime a friendship, relationship, whatever is built off of something that's shaky to begin with, it's not giving you a chance at developing something strong. It's like any relationship. If you're going to get married to someone, if you're going to have best friend in the world, you need a solid base. Okay, firm ground there. And when the relationship or the friendship is being built off of these other things, it's very shaky. And also, first thing I wanted to mention under the cost of hate is something called spontaneous trait transference. So what this is actually talking about is that we start to impose the content of what someone says on them. Okay. An idea within here is, say you are at a, you're listening to a speaker. Let's put it this way. You're listening to a speaker and you're there with someone next to you and you come up and it's time for the 15-minute break. Everyone goes and grabs some coffee and you're standing there talking to the person that you're sitting next to, and you just go to them and ask, okay, hey, what did you think about that last speaker? Now, you don't know this person really from Adam or anything, but you know what? You're striking up a conversation, could be a future friend. And also, what did you think about the speaker? And you respond to them, or they respond back to you, oh my God, he was so boring. That was so freaking boring. I mean, I was trying to keep my eyes open. And, well, could go different ways, right? Okay, what if you think that they were boring? Okay, well, then you're sitting here thinking, oh yeah, this person's awesome. Okay, yeah, they get the way that I think and everything. Okay, they are right on top of it. They're smart, they're educated, you're giving them all of these positive things and everything. Okay, and this could go the opposite direction too. What if on the other side, you thought it was an amazing speech? Okay, now all of a sudden the thought processes go and change a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, that person is a little stuck up maybe. Oh, maybe that person isn't really, you can never please them. There's nothing you can do to please them. Okay, so many different things that start happening based off of these discussions. Discourse said, telling others our intimacy with what we enjoyed. It presents again our connection to things that remind us of our past. Yes, exactly. Domestication, past, things we've dealt with in the past, and even this thing right here. Okay, what I'm talking about right now is we are building friendships based off of what we have learned over the years and what we feel like, okay, the types of things we enjoy, the types of things we don't enjoy. We can tend to lean toward it like a safety net at critical emotional moments. Good point. So that's one of the things. You can start finding out that what you are telling people in starting this hate bonding idea is starting to say more about you, okay, than it is about the other person. People might be like, oh, yeah, that person, okay, they're complaining about so-and-so who was saying this the other day to them. Yeah, this person might be someone that is just really hard to please, and they're going to see anything as a slight, and they can start doing those things. And the other thing is you can start being seen as a gossip, to be honest. Okay, now true, we're all gossiping when we're doing this. We're all gossiping. That's where it's coming from. But if you're going into a friendship and you're starting that hate bonding, and how many of you guys, okay, how many of you guys have had someone come up to you before in the past saying, oh, what do you think about so-and-so? Okay, oh, what do you think about Stephen? Throwing a name out there. Okay, I don't know a Stephen, that's why. And you're sitting in a group and Stephen's been talking in the chat and everything, and then someone comes to you later and says, yeah, what do you think about Stephen? And you're in this position where you're like, oh shit, what do I say? I don't want to piss this person off, Okay, I want to impress this person who's asking me. And there, we got a couple of hands popping up in chat. I don't want to say anything bad about them, but do I say I like them? I don't like, well, everyone in chat didn't seem to like them. So maybe I'll say, yeah, they were kind of weird and stuff like that. And that person's getting the information from you, and then they may throw back more negative information, and then you throw back, you're starting to figure out what it is they want now. So you just continue, okay, they're asking you, and you're just giving them the information that you think they want. And over time, people start to see that as a gossiping type of discussion. And I will be honest with you. If you're in a friendship or a relationship that is, and I've been there, guys, that is based on nothing but gossip or 90% gossip, when you guys have a fight and that relationship breaks, and chances are that relationship is not very sturdy to begin with. Remember, that solid ground. Okay, yeah, you've given them all the fuel of all of these conversations, and the chances are, since the relationship started off based off of this gossip back and forth type thing, if they're willing to say something about other people behind their back, do you think they're going to do the same to you? And it's hard, though, because at the same point, we want to belong. So what do? That's the fight I end up with in my head. Well, but I want to get in with this group. I want to belong in this group. I feel I feel honored that they've pulled me into this group, or I really care about this person. I want to be a friend with them. So what do I do with those? Finding that middle ground. And there's a couple people that I know who do this really well. And I've actually learned a lot from them, watching how they do it. How do you go and find that middle ground between talking with people, okay, and just not getting involved in the gossip side of it? Okay, yes, certain things are going to pop up, and certain things, it's just natural. But when do you cross that line, and how do you keep from it? When someone comes to you and is asking for all that information, how do you put your foot down in a nice way where they get the idea, I'm not in this to talk shit, okay, versus, okay, just being there as a friend, for example. And usually it's 80% of the time with most. Thank you, Discourse, on that one. Then also others may create the negative emotional impression of you, okay, and that kind of comes into this whole thing of being seen as a gossip, things like that. Each of us know these friends out there. Okay, how many of you guys, put a 1 in chat if you have had a friend before that was negative Nancy or negative Ned. All they ever did was complain about things, whether it be about people, about work, about whatever it was. All it was it felt like a one-sided conversation all the time where you were trying to help support someone. Okay, and is just like, oh my God, I can't deal with this anymore. And that's what also can happen in the hate bonding thing. There's a couple 1s in chat right there. I know I've seen it before, and hopefully I've never been, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's, I know there's probably been moments in my life that I was one of those too. It happens because all of us kind of have those moments that we need the extra, but then there's some people who just push even further. Okay, they don't realize when to stop. And that's a lesson all of us have to learn. Okay, to clarify, that's in your groups. You couldn't tell you this national. No problem, Discourse. It's great just getting what you have there because it's really good information there. So what happens is if you're one of those people who's always pointing out all the negative stuff and the hate bonding and all this other stuff, you're always on the hate bonding bandwagon. And actually maybe even to the point where you're quiet when there's no hate bonding going on. And then the moment the hate bonding is there, you jump in full force. People start to equate you with those negative feelings. They start recognizing, ooh, that person kind of, they enjoy this hate bonding too much. And that becomes the issue that you end up having to fight because you've gotten labeled. in this area. And as I mentioned before, the friendship breaks. Okay, people flip-flop, okay, to use that word. Okay, and now all of a sudden, the bond's not there to hold you together, and everything transfers over to you, or you transfer it over to the other person. And so there are some major costs to this. Yes, you have a group that you can lean on and will help support you and stuff like that, but it is not based off of trust, dependency, and true caring. It's more, rather than being based off of caring for each other, it's based off of hating the other person. So that's why when later on, all of a sudden something happens to you, okay, and we hear this all the time, people will say, well, I supported so-and-so when something happened to them, and but they're not supporting it when something happens to me. Well, the reason is it never was about the relationship between the two of you to begin with. Okay, it was more about the hate towards that third party. That's where it all came down to. So now I kind of already alerted you guys to the difference. There's hate bonding, which is our groups, and then there's hate following. Okay, hate following, what do we have from Seal? So do you become the hated when you don't agree or no longer have the ties? And that's it exactly. As soon as you don't have the tie with that person, or as soon as someone else in that group starts fighting and things split, which is what's happening all over the place right now, it seems, and all of a sudden, you do become the hated. And you're like, what happened? I have no idea what happened, and you're lost. You're at a loss. And it's because what was there truly was not necessarily about the friendship to begin with. It was more about who we were mad at, or who we were against, or who the other group was, or stuff like that. Discourse. Okay, yes, that's a common problem brought up in therapy, sometimes within spouses. Interesting. So, hate following. So hate following occurs when we find ourselves subbing or following a creator or channel that we don't like. So let me ask you guys this. Here's our question. Okay. Before we go into this, okay, how many of you guys, put a 1 in chat if you have a couple subscriptions on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, of people that you can't stand, and they irritate you to no extent when you go and look at one of their videos or their posts or something, but you're subscribed to them. And put a 1 in chat if there are people on your subscription list that fall in that category. Put a 2 if you do not do any of the hate following. Because this is something that was kind of new to me. I had never really heard about hate following. I guess I've seen it, but I've never, the idea of following someone because you hated them was so out of the norm for me. When I came onto YouTube, okay, and I think we're going to get a kind of combination of 1s and 2s in this group. When I first came to YouTube, I was like, if I don't like that person, I'm not going to subscribe to them. If their channel gets me pissed off, why would I subscribe to that channel if it's going to piss me off, guys? And, hey, Ing, welcome, Ing. Welcome. And I remember being in Discords and people saying, oh, yeah, I'm subbed to this person. And in the meantime, people would start talking about what that person was doing. And I'd find myself having to go into my search bar and search the channel name so I can go find the video, because I'm like, I'm not going to sub to someone I don't enjoy. However, again, that frog in the pot type idea. And as the years have gone by and people that I've liked becomes people that I might not like as much, and then there are people that I like again, or things like that, I've started noticing all of a sudden something will be popping up in my recommended list. I'm like, why am I getting that? Oh my God, I can't stand that person. And then all of a sudden I look and I'm like, oh, I'm subbed to them. Okay. Or even more. And I see this among a hell of a lot of people in the hate bonding type situations where people are subbed to other people because they want to keep track of what's going on, or, oh, all these other things that are going on. So for those of you, okay, so we have a couple, we have a one here, we got some twos here. People saying, I refuse to watch people you don't like, takes too much energy to hate. Don't know too many on YouTube. I actually left the channels that went to the dark side. And okay, perfect. Let me ask it, but we've all seen these people who do that, right? Okay, they're coming and say, oh yeah, do you see this video that was just done on so-and-so? And you're like, wait, you don't like that person. Why do you know about the video? And we all see these things happen, or many of us see it. And so let me ask you guys, and let's throw in some ideas. I'm going to try to talk long enough until I get some ideas in chat. Why do people hate follow? Okay, why do you find people who subscribe to a channel that they can't stand? Okay, and it could be real reasons that they do it. And there are some real reasons, to be honest. Okay, there's also people, for example, on Instagram or Twitter that you can't stand it when their name pops up or anything like that, but you still go and you are following them and stuff like that. So here, we got some ideas popping up here. Ing is, speak out on my own experience. For a long time, I watched people I hated just to feel better about myself. And yes, that makes sense. That is exactly makes sense right there. Okay. Recognizing that, that's a biggie. Yeah, we're going to actually go through a couple of these in a few seconds. They're addicted to the drama. Yeah. How many of people that we talk about this fear of missing out, FOMO, okay, that, oh my gosh, I'm going to be gone for 2 days from YouTube. I'm not going to know what's going on when I come back. And so we sit there and we watch every single video. That's all we do all day long. Okay, it's crazy. And in the meantime, we're complaining because we are stressed out to the max. Yeah, of course we are. We're doing it to ourselves. And so couple others, if other ideas pop up, I will read those. But to go through a couple things that I had put together on ideas was, number one, we want to reaffirm why we don't like them. Okay, so think about if it's a significant other thing, an ex. Okay, how many times have any of you guys been in a relationship and the two of you break up, or a friend and you break up, and you make the decision not to unfollow? You keep them on your friends list. Every single time they pop up in your feed, you get pissed off. It's like, well, how dare they have fun right now? And all these other things are going on, and in your head, you're getting madder and madder and madder. But you keep saying to yourself, well, I'm keeping it there because I want to make sure that I don't go back to them. I want it to remind me why I don't like them. And yeah, that's one of the thoughts people have. Discourse is saying, it's funny, I've had admittance of those who hate in some manner. Come to find out they didn't even hate them to begin with. Usually it's yes. Oh my God, Discourse Soapbox. Dang, you just hit it on the head right there. How many times do people hate someone else, and when they actually break it down, why is it you don't like this person? All of a sudden you realize it's because of something in you that you're having issues with. And it's rooted in an issue within ourselves. Self-esteem, okay, feeling like a failure, codependency. Codependency is huge, okay? Yes, unfollowing at times feels like that defeat. If you unfollow the person, that means they won. And that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that, but that's actually a really good point right there. Next, we want to keep tabs on them, okay? We keep following that person because we want to know everything they're doing, Okay, because we got to know what they're doing. What if they're doing something wrong? What if they're, I need to be able to tell people if they're doing something wrong. Okay, I need to make sure that everyone in the world knows that they are doing this, and I'm not going to know about them if I'm not following them. So we keep following them and going through it all. And seal, exactly. Unfollowing and unfriending is very freeing. When you can get to that point, it is, and it's not announcing it. How many people feel like they have to announce, okay, hey guys, I have made the decision to not follow so-and-so anymore. No. Then you're just getting back into the whole thing. No, you're unfollowing and unfriending for you, not so everyone else in the world knows. Okay? They don't care that you're following or on. Okay? They'll continue life their way and all. But it feels so good when it's done and you just disappear and all. And that's what I've done in many cases. There's many people that I used to follow that I've just disappeared from their channel. And that's fine. No one needs to know. It doesn't need to become drama or anything like that. Okay? It's just me deciding to take care of myself. And also, let's see, Inge is saying, for people that can't let go, it's not one rule for all, in my opinion. Yes, and that's true. I get what you're saying. There are sometimes it's hard. Okay, you almost kind of, there are definitely some things. I have a problem actually unfollowing or unfriending. Actually blocking. I'm one person I don't block. I literally have one person blocked, and that's it. And for me, it's become a thing of, wait, no, I need to learn how to deal with people. And if they're going to trigger me, I need to learn how to ignore them. And that's something I need to work on for me. Everyone has a different way of doing things. That's true. Being a busybody, yes. YouTube, Discord had, and YouTube too. Discord had removed toxic people. Yeah, and you have that thing. And you run into different things, and that's why you have the ability to block. If it's a hard thing for people to actually see other people, and it's going to affect your own ability to be good to yourself, then you block. You need to block. Now, me, I'm using it as something where I'm working on stuff. Sorry, someone either came to the door or something. And also, so that would be, thanks, Mom. So diapers for the dogs. Yes, exactly. So the next thing on why do we hate follow? Okay, tearing them down helps us feel better about ourselves. Exactly what was said a few minutes ago. Okay, when you can follow someone you hate, okay, and every time something comes up about them, okay, maybe it's a look thing. Maybe you have something about your looks. So you're following someone that gets you mad and everything, but you can sit there and say, oh yeah, look at what they're wearing right there. Oh my God, did you see how they're doing their makeup right there right now? Okay, you're saying all these things about how horrible they look there to make yourself feel better about how you look. And or other things. It can come into so many different areas. And so that's one. And the next, jealousy. Honestly, guys, I'm going to be honest with you guys. There are times that it all comes down to jealousy. Okay, we hate follow because when it comes down to it, we're jealous about them. Okay, maybe you're a creator and you're in a hate bond against another creator. And if you step back and really looked at why is it that I'm so mad at this person? Is it based off of something they said or did or something like that? Or is it more about, and sometimes it is, okay, one of the articles I was talking about, reading about, had a situation of a case like this where they were talking about someone within their career field, not related to social media. And, but maybe it's just this case that, this other person that you hate is very successful at something that you're working hard on being able to do. Some people are just naturals at something on YouTube. Okay, being able to talk, able to do 4 or 5 things at once. Okay, and they just, you look at them and you're like, oh my God, how do they do all this stuff? And then you get upset because you can't do it all. And so you end up hate following, hate bonding because of that jealousy. And you really, or maybe you just really are interested in what they have to say. You don't want to have to say that you like their channel. So you say, oh, yeah, I hate their channel and what they're doing, but oh, I like listening to their channel. I really enjoy it. You're never going to tell people that. That's for sure. So, let's see. We all must learn to deal with being human. The sign of my, ooh, I like that sign. It's hard dealing with that. So, next question. When you, and this is a yes or no, guys, okay, or not a yes or no, better or worse. When you hate bond or hate follow, okay, and all of us have done something at some time, at some level on this, do you find you feel better about yourself or worse about yourself when you are in the middle of hate bonding? I'd love to see what you guys have to say here. I think I know the answer, but maybe I'll be proven wrong. I know for me, guys, I'll be honest, gang. Okay, I think in the early days of hate bonding, it's exciting. There's that excitement to it, excitement of creating new friendships and the energy and things like that. But then as the time goes on, it gets bad. I start feeling really shitty about it. My nerves go through the roof. I am anxious all the time. I mean, I don't have blood pressure issues, but if I did, they'd be through the roof. And take care, Discourse, and thank you so much. Please come back in the future, my dear. And and part of the reason why, okay, a lot of us do tend to find ourselves feeling worse is, and we just got a little bit more here. I mentioned that chemical connection to hate bonding. And I just mentioned to you guys about how at the early moments, it feels so good. Okay, the excitement, the energy, everyone coming together for a cause, all those types of things. And a lot of times what that's coming down to is when we see something that we don't like, okay, whether it is a picture, whether it is words, whatever it is, our body will, you feel worse. If it happened, you would feel worse. Yeah. When we don't approve of something and we see it, our brain releases dopamine. For those of you who don't know what dopamine is, that's that feel-good chemical. It's that chemical that makes us feel good. It makes us want to do things. It's just, it's a great little chemical. Okay. It's awesome to have in our body. And when our body releases that dopamine, it has a way of motivating us to do things. Okay. No problem, Amy. No problem. Dopamine, we get that release. Okay. Say you see something. Okay. That is something we all agree would be horrible to see. Okay. You see a picture of an abuse victim. Okay. Put it there. There's a part of you that, I mean, you feel sickened, you feel horrible and all, but there's this part of you that almost has energy. If you know what okay, there's this like energy bubbling up from inside of you, like, oh my God, I can't believe this. How could someone do something like that? And so you are sickened by something, but at the same point, you've got this energy bubbling up inside of you. That's the dopamine. That's the dopamine trying to tell you you need to do something about it. Okay? Because what dopamine will do is it helps us push forward and motivates us to do things and that's exactly, Seal, angry, bingo. And that dopamine, that feeling inside of you is trying to get you to do something about it. And then over time it disappears. Okay, like most of these chemicals. You get a rush of it, then it disappears. Over time, it's the feel-good part of your brain. Exactly, Amy. Over time, though, we like that dopamine. We're going to talk about addiction here because this is what it comes down to, gang. Hate bonding comes down to addiction also. Okay. Over time, we want more of that dopamine. We want more of that feel-good chemical. We want more. Will doing. We want more of that feeling, okay, that keeps excitement, energy, okay, rather than feeling like that. Okay, even if it's something negative, it's got it there. So over time, we find ourselves needing it more and more, just like an addiction. So you realize by hate bonding or hate following, every time I watch that video that I hate, I'm going to get excited and I get this great feeling and stuff like that. And so you go and do it again and again and again, and you keep going more and more and more until all of a sudden, like any addiction, the addiction affects your life. And that's what starts happening. We go from the dopamine reaction to all of a sudden we've got the rest of us, because we're getting this dopamine from some pretty negative behaviors. And our brain knows they're negative. Our heart definitely knows they're negative behaviors. And our heart wants to make sure it's being heard. Okay. And unfortunately, what does happen, there has been research that shows that people who are more prone to using this level of hate bonding based off of, okay, that dopamine release and all, a lot of times they suffer from low self-confidence. And I think that's something a lot of us, I know with me, for example, when my self-confidence is much better now than it used to be. When my self-confidence is low, and it fluctuates. When my self-confidence is low, I find myself much more willing to go out and participate in hate bonding, whether it's in a group or a one-on-one type situation. I find it much more because, again, I need that support of someone else. So something to be keeping an eye on. So knowing that, we've kind of switched the conversation here into how do you put it in check? Because I don't know about you, I don't like it. I hate the hate bonding. I hate what it's doing right now to me. Okay, when I want to enjoy and talk about this, and yet everyone's talking about that. Or when I'm in a great mood and all of a sudden I see all this negativity and it just pulls me down even further. How can we put the hate bonding in check? Well, first of all is just identify it. Okay, look at, are there certain friends that are leading you to hate bond? Because I'll be honest, a lot of times it's a certain small group of people who will be very prone to bringing hate bonding into your life. And you know it because every single time you talk with them, they bring up, it's kind of like trauma bonding in that. Okay, there's certain things that pop up. And with hate bonding, there could be, you may find that you have one or two friends who every time you talk to them, all they do is bring up issues with other people and why you need to hate those people because of this, or why we need to be anti this or anti that. And so that's number one, apps. If you're realizing YouTube is leading you to this being such a big issue for you that you're needing to make changes in your life, recognize it. It doesn't mean it's bad. Okay, you can still be on YouTube and stuff like that, but you need to recognize it. So identify where it is. Because yeah, you may need to take some times off and stuff like that. And all, but recognize it first. And then find things to do to build your self-esteem when offline. Because yes, a lot of times when the hate bonding is so big, the videos are so bad about all these things that all of a sudden, anytime you come online, it's bad. You may find yourself having to put down YouTube for a while, put down Instagram for a while. People do take breaks, and it's good to take breaks. Okay, it's hilarious when I see people say, I'm going to take a break, and then you see other people say, oh yeah, look, they're taking a break. We'll see how long this lasts and all that. Okay, that's just ridiculous in my eyes. Okay, it'll last as long as the person needs it to last for them. That's all. And so you take that break. You take that time. Okay, if it's a friendship, maybe you just distance yourself for a few days or whatever until you can get yourself in the right frame of mind. And part of that is because we did just talk about self-esteem. Self-esteem being a major issue when it comes to hate bonding. Okay, that a lot of people who do hate bond have issues with self-esteem. Okay, so take a look at things you can do to build your self-esteem while you're offline or while you're dealing with these things. Try to find things you can do. That's why when I talk to people, okay, friends who are having a rough time, I try to help them figure out what can they do to help attack those negative feelings, okay, and change the negative feelings rather than stay with the negative feelings. And the one thing I wanted to say with this one, and we'll actually kind of probably end it on this one, is that, guys, recognizing that you are participating in hate bonding is not easy. And that's why even here, guys, okay, today it's been hard for me to even address it at times because we get certain thoughts in our head about it. There's shame. It's kind of like addiction. There's a shame in addiction, the same way there's a shame in participating. Once you realize, because there's so many guilt feelings attached to what's going on with hate bonding, whether it be low self-esteem, issues with work, all these other things, there's negative things going on there. And to stand up and say, okay, yeah, you know what? This is where I may be sliding into this. Okay, I need to pull out. And that's a conversation for you privately within your own heart. And that's why I put this off at the end, because I want this to be what people take away with you. Not necessarily talk about or anything like that, because it's a private conversation with yourself. And but understand it's okay. Everyone has dealt with hate bonding at some level. Everyone has talked shit about someone at some time in their life. Some of us more than other people. Okay, don't be bad to yourself for it. Okay, don't be harsh on yourself for it. Okay, because in my eyes, the fact that you're willing to look at it is a positive. Okay, so just the thought that you're looking at your life, Siren, I love you, Siren. Mwah. Thank you for coming by, my dear. Taking that time and just looking at how it affects your life and stuff, it's hard. And know that it's okay. It's okay to have these feelings. It's nothing to be ashamed of by any means. And then also, by giving yourself that time, okay, this kind of goes with the one right before this. It gives your mind a chance to reset, to rethink things through, to get out of the emotions and allow the logic in your brain to kind of seep back through, as well as other people, because other people are in the same place. And for outside of the mental side, if you give yourself the actual YouTube break, which some people do, and I think is wonderful if you can do that, it gives your YouTube or your Instagram or whatever a change to reset the algorithm. Because honestly, if you all right now went through and unsubbed from anyone that causes you that hate bonding feeling, anyone you're subbed to on a hate bonding level or things like that, they're still going to pop up in your algorithm for a while until you stop watching them. And that's the hard part. And the moment you start watching them, they're going to pop up again. And that's what makes life really, really hard. Yeah, it happens, Seal. Accept it. Move towards more positive activities. Exactly. Work with your friends. Because for all the friends that you might have that might be more hate bonding focused, there's going to be others who are going to be just as willing to help you. Okay, and you know your friends that are really, okay, that are there for you. Not for gossip and crap like that, but they're there for you. And they'll help you. Because again, it's not about shame or anything. It's about making yourself better in the end. And all. So there we go for the end of today. And we do have Cantina actually in 28 minutes. Oh my gosh. And so I'm going to finish this one up real quick. We will actually be going into Cantina in 28 minutes, like I said. Guys, come on up. I am streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. I just realized I have not been watching Twitch because I shut it down by accident earlier. Isabella has been over there though, so hello Isabella, and thank you for staying over there, my dear. I'm re-looking at the comments right now, and I will fix that in the future. I do apologize, Isabella, for dropping the Twitch. I closed it out when all of a sudden you guys could hear me talking in the background and all, but we will be on Twitch also, so I'll be duo streaming, so please come over for Cantina. Come up on panel. Okay, guys, Cantina is for us to have fun. Okay, yeah, sometimes we talk serious shit. Okay, sometimes you get the excitement of the dogs doing weird things behind me. Cantina is a happy place. Exactly, Seal. So come on over, join us. Let's have fun. And I will see you guys later. For those of you who join, those of you who have joined in the conversation, sorry, I had a bug there, joined in conversation, thanks so much. And for all the members, thank you for staying on as members. I really appreciate y'all. Cassie, you want to say goodbye to everyone? Is that why you're at my feet now? Say hi to everyone. Show everyone your cute little, isn't that a cute little diaper? It works. It works, guys. Yes, it does work. Yes. And also, anyhow, I'll see you guys soon. Aloha and mahalo. Bye, guys.